Our first guest is amazing. Shelita Burke is right now being considered for some of the top Grammy Awards, Album of the Year, Performer of the Year. You know, I met Shelita this summer, and guess what she was talking about, this beautiful, creative young lady? Artificial intelligence for 2 days. Not just 1 day, 2 days artificial intelligence. Not what it is, but actually how you can use it. So I said, you know what? I have to bring forth this lady's light. So Shelita Burke is a pop electronic artist and writer based in Los Angeles and Paris, France. She's known for her engaging, collaborative, and spontaneous live performance style. Her ability to connect with audience and engage her expansive network of superfans has resulted in a devoted global audience, prompting media interest from NPR, The Village Voice, Billboard, MTV, and many music industry tastemakers. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for the amazing Shelita Burke.
I am so humbled to be here. Thank you for inviting me here. If I told you there was a way to be happy all the time, would you want to know how to do that? Yes? Yes? Does everyone in here have a social media account? Yes. So the first thing I would like everyone to do, because I assume everyone here has a telephone as well, like a cell phone, I'd like everyone to get out their phones, please. So there's this number that I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with different numbers, but this one for a very particular reason, and it's called the Dunbar number. It's the number 150. That's the number I'd like you to put in your calculator right now, 150. Because according to the Dunbar number, every human being has access to influencing 150 people, which means those 150 people have access to another 150 people. So does everyone have the number 150 on their calculators? I'd like you to take that number and times it by another 150. Press equal. You should have something around 22,000 on your calculator right now. Now I'd like to show you exponential growth in that influence. Press the equal sign again. Press the equal sign again. And one more time. And the number you should have on your calculator right now, if you tilt your phone the horizontal way, is a number bigger than the number of people on the planet, which is how many people everyone in this room has access to in terms of influence by just speaking to one person. And so what does that have to do with happiness? It means the way you speak to people, how you speak about yourself, how you speak about others, impacts people's happiness because it impacts how they feel. You know that people remember how you made them feel. And so think about when you speak to people, how can you contribute to their happiness? Happiness is being present. Presence is the most important thing to me because in the present moment, you can create the ultimate happy moment by realizing that there's only one moment and it's the same moment forever, always. And so happiness is also about being aware of yourself. And the way to elevate that awareness is by understanding that you are not your thoughts. Thoughts are just stories that you've told yourself about the environment that you're in. So if the thought doesn't help, skip the thought. And if that thought doesn't help, skip that thought. And just keep going until you're actually not thinking anymore. Because when you're not thinking anymore, what you're actually doing is being aware of this present moment that we're in right now, which is the only moment that's here with us forever, always. There are no other moments, which really means that we're all radiant, happy beings all the time. So there are things, 5 things, that interfere with happiness. One of them is a thought, shame, guilt, blame, and also fear. Those 5 things take you away from being present, and they actually interfere with your own awareness of your happiness. It's not the out there world that contributes to the happiness. It's in here. I've heard that before by someone telling me, look, the key to happiness is within. And I'm like, what does that mean? It's within. I can't just go inside and look inside my body and pull out the happiness, can I? What does that really mean? What it really means is the outside world, the stimulus from the outside world can trigger happiness, but that's not going to make you happy. This physical world that we're in doesn't make us anything besides being in this physical world. And so when you think about happiness, when you think about how to achieve happiness, it's actually not something to achieve. It's something that's always there, forever, always. And so just as you can practice being aware, you can practice happiness. So one of the mindfulness practices that I use to practice happiness is I sit in a very comfortable position. And then what I try to do is I try to clear out every thought and every feeling. And I just try to be still. And when I realize that I'm at that place of stillness, what I'm trying to do then is to activate my inner greatness. And in that space, I have access to happiness. Every human being is a genius. Yes. They just need to be aware of themselves. And there's certain emotional blocks that prevent us from realizing that super genius inside of us. Every human being has access to their inner greatness. Every human being. Even human beings that are seen as outcasts in society, even human beings that are considered criminals, they have inner greatness. And so one of the things that I do to practice more happiness is no matter what situation happens in the outside world, I try to activate my own inner greatness and the inner greatness in the human beings that I'm being surrounded by. Why is that important? It's important to access your own inner greatness so that you can activate the inner greatness in others, because that's when we're connecting to all of humanity. It's the same space. One of the things that is a big grand illusion in society is the fact that one human being is separate from another human being. We're not separate. We're all here together. We're all sharing the same experience together, but we just experience it differently, even though we're sharing the same experience. So when you decide that you are going to be aware of your happiness, you're also being aware of your happiness for every human being that's ever walked or will walk the planet. And so why is it important to increase your global influence online and speak powerfully when you speak messages into the world online? Because that space is being accessed forever, always. And so it's really important to understand that you have influence every single time you post a message. You have influence every time you speak about yourself. You have influence every time you talk to another human being. So what are you going to do with that space? What are you going to do forever, always? I hope it's happiness. Thank you.